Good news to Arsenal fans all over the world as Mikel Arteta is considering taking Gabriel Jesus to Portugal for the Sporting Lisbon game on Thursday. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? Welcome from that very dramatic weekend for Arsenal, winning 3-2, and they won it late cutters of Reiss Nelson. And Reiss Nelson is really in talks with Arsenal to really get a new contract. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and been confirmed to us about the plan of Reiss Nelson and Arsenal after Samuel McBell of the Daily Mail confirming to us that Arsenal are in talks with Reiss Nelson for the new contract. Smash the like button, comment and share. Rokani David is my name, and let's roll with this. As Bernard Leno, the former goalkeeper of Arsenal, he's not doing what Jorginho is doing to his former team Chelsea. He's coming out and telling the team of Arsenal that he wishes them the best of luck to lift the Premier League trophy. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto our beautiful YouTube channel. Now, Arsenal is having lots of injuries. Trossard, especially the forwards now. Nketiah is injured, Trossard is injured, and I think my next video that is going to close up there is going to be about Trossard, telling you about Trossard, KNTNE, and when we expect him to return, obviously, and so much more. Meaning that it has been confirmed Trossard is out of the game on Thursday, and Arsenal is not having any centre forward available apart from Martinelli. Though Mikel Arteta claims that even Emily Smith-Rowe is good at doing that job and can get it done and dusted in a nick of time. Now, with that progressing at Arsenal, Arteta is left with no option. Amidst him having not wanted to hurry this player back, that's Gabriel Jesus, he has found himself in a situation of really getting him back into the Arsenal squad. We've been told by Kaya Kayanek, he is an Arsenal correspondent for the Football London News, confirming to us that Arsenal have not entirely ruled out the possibility of taking Gabriel Jesus to Lisbon for first leg of UEFA Europa League of round 16, despite the Brazilian returning so soon seems unlikely. Now, I don't know why they are saying it seems unlikely. 7 or 10 days given to us by Mikel Arteta on Friday, I think that is soon. 7 days, just a week, or 10 days. And on Friday, it was 7 or 10 days. Let's count 10. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Meaning that on Thursday, 7 days will have hit. That's it. Then later, we don't know how that is going to happen. But I believe he's going to go with him. I'm 100% sure. According to me, my consciousness is telling me that he's going to really go with this man because he's left with no striker, but I don't see him starting. I believe it's going to be all about Gabriel Martinelli leading the line, Emily Smith-Rowe playing wide right, and Reiss Nelson playing wide left, wide right. Reiss Nelson, wide right, all as a right forward. And Emily Smith-Rowe will play as a left attacking midfielder into that game. Sorry about that. So, it comes to my understanding that as it stands, Arsenal is really getting ready for the return of Gabriel Jesus. I think there is no better news for Arsenal fans all over the world that Mikel Arteta has not ruled out taking Gabriel Jesus with him. Do you know why? Look at this photo. Look at this photo, guys. I came here, I did a story about Gabriel Jesus that he was really part of that Arsenal side warming up, and this is how he looked on the day when Arsenal really went ahead to beat Bournemouth and winning late. He was warming up with the substitutes, and that is Gabriel Jesus for you. Look at him, looking ready, putting himself in shape, and I brought you that story yesterday that Gabriel Jesus is demanding Mikel Arteta, please get me on the field as soon as possible because I need to be part of this team. I need to be part of this team, and that's what Gabriel Jesus is doing to Mikel Arteta. And Arteta has no option left because this demand has come in at a time when Jesus is the only centre forward he's left with. Nketiah is injured, Leandro Trossard is injured, who has been always playing as a false number 9 for Arsenal, and he's left with only one player that can lead the line. That is Gabriel Martinelli. And you wouldn't like to play Gabriel Martinelli in a lot of minutes in Portugal when you are having a very hard game away at Fulham. over the weekend. So it shows you how important the return of Gabriel Jesus is and how Mikel Arteta might find himself getting this guy back onto the field of play soonest than his plan. But I think 7-10 days, I think by Thursday they're going to be 6, Friday 7. So he's being considered by the manager to return, and I think it's good news for Arsenal. In the situation that Arsenal is in, the only player they need to be back right now is Gabriel Jesus. Why? He makes all the players in the front three look better. He makes Bukayo Saka look better. He makes Martinelli look better. He makes Odegaard look better by creating lanes of spaces for them to operate, as he really presses very well. And when he gets that ball, he's good at taking off players. And when he takes them off, he makes some good run off the ball movements. That really makes the other players better. So to me, as I've always told you as usual, that I look at Gabriel Jesus as when Suarez came in at Liverpool. When Suarez came in at Liverpool, he made most of the players at Liverpool better, with Daniel Sturridge scoring 30 goals a season that he never did when Suarez found himself out of Liverpool to Barcelona. And Arsenal had agreed a deal with Suarez, £50 million. Liverpool asked Arsene Wenger, how much money are you adding onto the £50 million for us to sell you this guy? Do you know what Arsene Wenger told them? I'm adding you £1. And they said, all right, there is an option coming from Barcelona, and they sold him to Barcelona. That's how stingy and mean Arsene Wenger was. And I believe at all Arsene Wenger had got himself Luis Suarez by then, he would have put himself in a contention to win the trophy. Why? He was having one of the best center forwards in the world that made players around him better. So, as it stands, Jesus is back. It's now in the hands of Mikel Arteta whether to choose to put him on the field of play or not. So it's all in hands of Mikel Arteta, but I won't be surprised on Thursday when I hear that Mikel Arteta has really decided to put him on the plane that is going to be flying to Portugal, and I think they're flying to Portugal on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, that's when the press conference is there. If he doesn't travel with him, he will give us a confirmation and the reason as to why he has not traveled to Gabriel Jesus, but he's short of strikers, and I think in the academy there is no one he can trust to get going with the squad of Arsenal as far as leading the line role is concerned. Let's talk about the savior of Arsenal on Saturday. That is Reiss Nelson, and there is another player that deserves another hail or commend this time around. It's Thomas Partey. After scoring the first goal, who does the secondary assist that leads to Reiss Nelson doing a square that found Ben White, and Ben White tapped that ball into the back of the net. Now, as it stands, Reiss Nelson made an assist and then did what we call an arrow, or directed the arrow into the corner of the goal into the 97th minute, and he made it 3-2 for Arsenal. Arsenal want to reward him, and this is what they are planning to do as far as Sammy McBall, chief football reporter for Daily Mail, is reporting that Arsenal are in talks with Reiss Nelson over a new contract. Discussions over an extension are underway, with hope growing that the intention from all parties is to agree a deal for Reiss Nelson. That is Samuel McBall. Reiss Nelson, if you are not informed, let me bring you up to speed. His contract is running out on 30th of June this year. Now, Arteta has found himself in the same situation like he was last season, with El Nini's contract running down. He came in through when Partey was injured and played very well for the last 7 games. Eddie Nketiah did the same. And what happened? Eddie Nketiah came in through and scored close to 6 or 7. Were they 5 goals in the last 7 games they had towards the end of the season? And his contract was running down. Arteta tied him on a longer contract of close to 5 years. Now, even Reiss Nelson has put himself in that position of really doing the needful to demand for a contract. And this is what a player should be doing when he's demanding for a contract. Go on, do what he did in the field of play, and obviously prove to the manager I'm really great. And for Reiss Nelson, his ceiling is really way up there, more than that of Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and Emily Smith-Rowe, according to those that really coach them at the Hell End Academy. It was said that he was the most prospectful talent from the Hell End Academy. That is a player called Reiss Nelson. And as it stands, he's one of those players that you have to reckon with as far as thriving at Arsenal is concerned. And I believe this player just needs to keep himself fit. Arteta had given him a go to play games when Bukayo Saka got off in the 27th minute against Nottingham Forest. He took him off and then brought on Reiss Nelson. Most of us thought that it was going to be Marquinhos, but he brought on Reiss Nelson. Nelson scored a brace and created one chance. He came in the game of Wales, never played very well, but in the game of Carabao Cup that saw Arsenal being knocked out at Emirates by Brighton, the result was 3-1. He created the first goal of the game for Eddie Nketiah, and Eddie Nketiah scored. But after then, he got an injury, and he has not been playing most of the games. But he was back, and he made a very big bang, and I think he comes in at a very right time to demand for his contract from Arsenal. Even Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to confirm to us that Reiss Nelson is in tune with Arsenal and they are really planning to do the needful to really give him the contract. And Reiss Nelson loves to stay at the club. Fabrizio Romano, in his own words, said Reiss Nelson has not changed his mind. His priority is to continue at Arsenal as current deal expires in June. Negotiations are ongoing over a new deal. Clubs around Europe appreciate him, but Nelson wants to stay. So, when talks about clubs in Europe admiring him, he spent the entire season last year at Feyenoord and they found themselves playing in the finale of the Conference League alongside a team called AS Roma, and they lost by 1-0 and Mourinho bagged that trophy for AS Roma. Now, other teams in Europe like Feyenoord seem interested in him, and in that finale he was playing with Malacia in the same team. I'm talking about Tyrell Malacia of Manchester United. They were playing the same team, and obviously it happened that they lost, but Reiss Nelson came on through and had a shot at goal, but obviously things never really went as planned. But he braved through into that final and he created some chances, but it was not their day to win. You know Jose Mourinho and how he packs the bus and how luck sometimes befalls him. But for me, I believe Reiss Nelson deserves a contract. Such that Arsenal concentrates more on really looking for a right attacking midfielder. You get? A central attacking midfielder that can play as or can act as a backup or a replacement for Granit Xhaka. Then a CDM. I think those and a striker. Those four signings are really called for and they are really needed at Arsenal. And as it stands, Reiss Nelson helps Arsenal or takes Arsenal off that burden of going in for players expensive like Mykhailo Modric. Remember, Arsenal was going in for Mykhailo Modric to come and play into that position. Remember that very well. And I think the plan was they are going to use Martinelli as a centre forward. But when he said no and went to Chelsea, see how Arsenal has benefited. They brought in Leandro Trossard. He can play as a wide left forward and a false number 9. Then this guy comes in through. Reiss Nelson trying to really defy all the odds and obviously says, I'm the man who is really ready to take you to the next level, and that is Reiss Nelson. So as it stands, Reiss Nelson is going to earn himself a new contract at Arsenal. Now, Jorginho yesterday came out and mocked Chelsea after the women team of Arsenal beat them in the finale by 3-1, and obviously Arsenal lifted that trophy. Then Jorginho came out and really mocked Chelsea, and he was like, I came to the best club in London. That is Jorginho for you. But for Bernard Leno, however much is playing in London, also at Fulham, he does wishes Arsenal well, and he has gone ahead to really say the following ahead of the game that Arsenal is going to be playing again. That Arsenal is going to be playing against them on Sunday, and he said, "I don't have toxic feelings or bad energy for Arsenal. It didn't end in the perfect way, but my reception at Emirates was really good. I get fans coming up to me saying, thank you for your 4 years. You were very good at the club of Arsenal." That is the Standard Sport reporting. And that is the guy that was in the goal of Arsenal for 4 years. And then Mikel Arteta said, I no longer want you at my club. You are not good at ball distribution, a very good short stopper, but you are not good at ball distribution. Let me sell you up. Now, what has really caught my eye is this. And to show to it that it does not have any toxic element in his heart for Arsenal, he has said the following, that he hopes they win the league and he thinks they can. Now, if I'm the coach of Fulham on Sunday, do I start Bernard Leno in goal? A goalkeeper who is wishing Arsenal to really win the trophy, should I start him in goal when he's going to be playing against his former team? Because if at all Arsenal loses or draws against Fulham, obviously you know what happens. City will close them in. Arsenal is still 5 points ahead of City. So for Bernard Leno, I think if I'm the manager that is Marco Silva, I don't start him in that game. I have no reason for starting him in that game because he doesn't deserve it. He has already shown us that he has chosen a side and he is willing to give in a goal for Arsenal. But let's wait and see. Professionalism comes out at that game of the match. I think he will be wishing Arsenal well, but when it comes to the job, he will go in and really say, all right, Arsenal, this is my job. I need to secure it. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Tell me your thoughts about Arteta considering taking Gabriel Jesus to Portugal against Sporting Lisbon. That is on Thursday. Then Bernard Leno, what he has put out against us, towards Arsenal, that he wishes them well and wants them to win the trophy. He is the man going to be in between the stitches as Arsenal plays against Fulham away at Craven Cottage. Would you start him in goal if I told you I'm Marco Silva, the manager of Fulham? And lastly, would you reward Reiss Nelson a new contract? That's all I had for you. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the Lord God bless you abundantly and protect you throughout this evening. See you in our next video. I sign out, my mates.